sorry to hear that.
Thank you. No, it's working great.
Yeah, this too will pass.
Right, we got 3 more minutes and we'll get started.
Yeah, you're gonna do that.
You talking to me, Johnson?
You all, technology has one spring times.
Yeah, you're supposed to be here early to help me with this.
I'm looking
Good
forward
thing
to
I
it.
can
We will have a
rely on Chris.
for 2 days, we'll use Robert's meeting.
I can't bring myself to watching that. You know,
Thank you.
All the meetings.
It doesn't matter. We don't have tiebreakers against anybody but Texas.
One thing we do have going for us is the Tigers are probably worse than us right now.
Yeah.
Hey, Johnson, stop by when you walk back by, please.
I don't know, but this is what she.
Yeah, I know, that's all right. We got 1 minute. But. Which is right here, right? Huh. Okay, so I should go back to this one now.
Yeah, that's how you manage.
Okay. Hey, there's Mr. Knight.
Is it appropriate for me to talk to this person, why there's a difference in the pay?
I know you didn't have to on the timer. Lisa's got this all marked out, so she has a timer with how many minutes I can discuss each person. Yeah, so.
I just wanna make sure she understood.
No pressure.
No.
Let's swing out Texas call real quick.
Okay, it's 6:30. It is September 24, 2025. This is welcome to our regular meeting for the month, Blockhouse Month. We have got a really tight schedule. We have a couple of directors that need to leave early, and we have several items that we need to get through, and we do have an executive session. So let's just see if we can't power through all this and work as a team. First item on the agenda is citizens communication. Do I have anything? South Sedge, do you have anything quick?
Just here to answer questions that might come up about the agenda item and chicken dinners.
Great, thank you. Yes, and that's, will probably be a little bit down on the agenda, but we will definitely have to get to you. Okay, Nebraska Furniture Mart, Jim is sending us a memo. There's nothing really new going on, so he's not here today. I'm gonna jump over to number 34, Code of Conduct real quick. Just wanna say real quick, guys, as president, I conduct our meetings in accordance with the Code of Conduct, which directs that we follow the Roberts Rule of Order. Going forward, all votes will be taken using the voice vote. I will call for all in favor, any opposed, any abstaining. It's important that each director verbally responds. If you do not clearly state one of these 3 positions, your vote will not officially be recorded, and you'll be a non-vote in the minutes. Okay, let's go to number 3. Do I have a motion to approve consent items?
Second.
Which are the minutes from August 13th and August 20th. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye? Okay, that was 4 ayes. Okay, we have one more consent item. Okay, Ashley's here. A proposal for McCall Gibson for the audit services for fiscal year ending September 30th, 2025. Hey there.
Hey, how are y'all?
Good.
Just to remind you, the audit's required for regulatory purposes, for the TCEQ, and then also for your continuing bond disclosure purposes. In front of you is the engagement letter that would allow us to perform the audit for the year ended September 30th, 2025. No new accounting standards coming down the pipe or auditing standards that would have a material effect on you all. So the engagement letter itself is similar to what you've seen in the past. We're also trying to keep these relatively stable year to year. So last year's fee for the audit was $20,500, and we've got a not to exceed $21,500 in the engagement letter this year. We also have the fraud questionnaire Here we just ask that you read through the questionnaire. If you're aware of any fraud, allegations of fraud, or areas that you believe to be susceptible of fraud, please give me a call, make us aware of that so that we can build in additional auditing procedures to address those fraud risks. That said, if you're not aware of anything, no need to do anything with that fraud questionnaire. If you have any questions on the engagement letter, audit process, or the fraud questionnaire, I'd be happy to answer them.
Okay, any questions? Okay, thank you very much, and if you guys think of questions later, you can just reach out directly to me.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
all.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Do you wanna do a motion here?
Do I have a motion to approve the proposal which is in your packet?
I have a motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that's 4 ayes and 1 non, thank you. Okay, Ms. Martin, update from the VHCO.
Okay, so we're getting in the pumpkin mood. The fence will go up on Friday, this Friday, and the hay will be delivered on Monday. And then according to Tim, he may be able to deliver the pumpkins on Tuesday.
Oh, perfect.
So that's changed from what I just told you. And then the 11th is the camp out, in conjunction with, pumpkin night at the pool or not at the pool, sorry. Why was it like that? No, I'm sorry. And then we're still, on the lantern parade, we're still kind of up in the air as to if that's gonna happen or what's gonna happen on
Okay.
that.
All right.
And then our annual meeting is in November.
Great, thank you, Sandy. Okay, Deputy Lovato, we're gonna move you down, if you don't mind, so we'll come back to you. Okay, number 7, report from Premier, and we're also moving up number 29 with 7. 29 is the renewal of your contract with Premier Recreation.
Thank you, so Mark Harper with Premier Recreation. Thank you, it's been a great summer. We're, in our last weekend of being open here at Tomlinson, so, we'll still open Saturday and Sunday here, and then we're just operating over at Apache. Although it's nice and hot during the day, when the temperature started to cool off, like last night, the last cold front we had, it started to get pretty cool. So that, as the temperature starts staying in the 60s, this pool's gonna get really cold real quick. Everything's doing well, we just had the one patron incident, a couple weeks ago. But other than that, it's been a great summer, and that wasn't even that huge of a deal,
Yeah.
but just wanted to make y'all aware of that.
Yeah, details are in our packet. Okay, fantastic. Let's go ahead and go to number 29, the renewal of the pool services agreement with Premier Recreation Management Services. It expires the end of this month, so we need to go ahead and approve it. This is just for 1 year, right?
Yeah, 1 year and nothing has changed, including the rate, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah. So do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Any comment? Okay.
Just appreciate you being able to hold the rate steady for us. Thank you.
Yes,
No,
yes,
service.
and great job all year.
Yes.
We
It's been
really
fantastic.
enjoy working with you. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Okay, that's 4 ayes. Thank you. Hopefully I'm on track here. Let's go to number 8. Our party. Hey there.
Hello. Had a routine month, nothing too crazy, just the regular services. We'll be doing, fall flowers, we'll be ready to put in probably the first week in November. And then, fall mulch in October.
Are we doing mulch? I thought we scratched that.
It's still part of the.
This was last year's budget, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right, you're right. Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good evening. And now, we're gonna go ahead, we are gonna go into executive session on personnel matters, about the legal advice. No decisions will be made. We will come out and hold any decisions in the public. Mr. Hunt, we are gonna go in there first and then we'll call you in if you don't mind.
Okay.
All right, fantastic. Directors, if you could take your packets or your laptops in there so you can reference all of these things. So we got everybody at the table? All right, thank you. We are now out of executive session. No decisions were made. Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So no decisions were made. So what we have in front of us is agenda item number 31 and 32. We're gonna talk about this. Where are you?
Sorry.
Oh. You see it. So does anyone want to do this conversation, or you want me to just start it? Okay. Alright, so the first one is, 31, which is our operations contract with Crossroads. So our operations contract, just for people that don't know, is, water, wastewater, out here doing all that fun part of it. But we're looking at moving our parks person, who was 40 hours a week to 20 hours a week, and moving him under the operations contract. It actually gives us a savings, and what started this is we really needed to find some savings. And our operations and our GM contract are two of our larger contracts. So I think we have this contract in front of us. Before I get into some details on that, I'm gonna jump over the GM contract. The GM contract has the GM at 40 hours a week and an admin at 40 hours a week. And so we're looking at moving that admin to 16 hours a week, just 2 days full-time in the office. So that's what we're looking at. It's a cost savings, you could say $150,000, but there's a CPI discussion that we're about to have that could change it to maybe 105 to 114 savings. It's a significant savings, and it's what we need right now. Andrew's been great, working with Sean and Amanda and myself, kind of redlining this and making sure that our needs are being met and you're able to do it. So we're looking at bringing in a brand new admin, somebody that Lisa will train. Lisa will be in the district 2 days a week, 16 hours a week. We have the admin another 2 days, and then we have 1 day where the office is closed. Anybody wanna comment on that before we start getting into the red lines? Okay, so Andrew, thank you first of all for considering this and working on it. I understand that, this board just approved your contracts last month.
Yep.
Unfortunately, it was right in the middle of our budget season, so I personally thank you for that.
Sure.
So there are some red lines on the operations contract. I don't think we really need to go through them detail by detail. I went over them with Sean already. It's just like we now have that strip between Nebraska Furniture Mart and residents. And it's all nice, people are gonna walk their dogs out there. Lisa mentioned actually today, maybe we should put a doggy station out there. So just, where we say do the 3 mile loop and these these parks, we just maybe wanna add that to the scope.
I would see that as part of the 3 mile loop, honestly.
Okay, yeah, and then just another one, I'm not gonna go through them all. It says the trails on the green belt behind Tomlinson Park. Well, we actually need this person, the parks person, to look at all the trails and all the green belt, from Tomlinson to Apache to Humano. Because that's actually where we do find like a couple of the homeless camps and different things. So I wanted to see if we can't, and it's not an everyday walk the trails, but it's something we can negotiate. Okay, let's start the discussion with the CPI. Can you help us understand the CPI, because in the email you sent me, I think you said you wanted to go up to 6% because in 2024 you all didn't take the 3%.
Right, so, in the agreement, we have the option to, request a CPI, a standard South Urban Area CPI, once a year. That has been around 3% each year. We did not claim one last year, and so the 6% is calculated from the original contract date 2 years ago to today's date. So essentially, we're not asking to claw that back, we just missed the time frame, and so really, you're essentially paying for inflation up to today's cost, is the 6%.
And why was it missed, or just the notes?
I think so, yeah, just a miss on that, on our part.
Okay, directors,
Well, I guess, so, for telling us, I guess we had them look through the budget last cycle, no savings with Crossroads, I just wanna confirm that was not something that y'all did as part of that effort, like this, I guess you say it was an oops, like, so this was not related in some capacity, some other work we were doing with y'all not take it there, we all are saying it's actually just simply an oversight on
Just
the
an, just an administrative thing, we review typically once a year to
Yeah.
try to keep all of our, we have 85 contracts.
No, it's okay, I just wanna make sure, cause I guess, I don't wanna make this is where someone we agreed perhaps, oh yeah, you're not doing it this year, and then I wanna make sure if we had some kind of understanding about doing things in the future that weren't done at the time, we're making sure we're honoring things correctly from our end too, right?
No.
So if it's an actual oversight on y'all, that's a fine thing, I just wanna make sure I'm understanding how we got here, right?
It's very possible that you accounted for 3% in your budget, we just never actually
Okay.
charged you for it.
Okay.
Because typically your bookkeeper's making certain inflation adjustments anyway,
Correct.
based on what they know about the agreements, so that may be what you're thinking of, like y'all actually accounted for it, but we never charged it.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to make sure, yeah,
Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay.
okay, thank you both, that's helpful.
We did account for it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, typically we'll see what the actuals are for last year, we'll add, 3%, 5%, whatever the contract says.
Okay.
Yeah, we have kind of a short window, it's like June to claim that, and then we kind of miss it.
Well-
And so we typically don't come back unless it's, sometimes we realize it, close enough to the new term, and we just say, we'll catch it then. And so that's savings for y'all, for us not claiming that.
So we didn't pay them for that, even though it was
That's right.
kind of corner, but we did not end up paying.
Right.
That's right.
Well, I think it's savings in one way, but now that you're coming back and asking for 6/3, we now have to pay it, so.
Well, I'm trying to establish what we
You
did
would have
last.
essentially
Yeah.
paid it anyway.
Yeah.
You would have paid it anyway, essentially. That would have been
Yeah.
3%. It would have only been a 3% increase.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Director Johnson or Director Young?
Question?
Okay. So there are some red lines, I don't know if any of y'all have looked through it and made some red lines as well. Could we really need to action this, could we go ahead and vote on both these tonight? Send Sean any red lines you may have, he could put together the final, send it over to Andrew, and then, we're not changing anything substantive with it. Are you guys all right with that? Okay, all right, let's go and do the first one. Do I have a motion to approve the renewal of the operations services agreement with Crossroads Utility?
Motion?
Second, okay, all in favor?
I,
Any opposed? Any abstain? So it's 4. And then, do I have a motion to approve the amendment to the general management park services agreement?
Motion?
Second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
I,
Any opposed? Any abstain? Okay, so that's 4. Okay, so we've got that,
Do we wanna put a deadline on the red lines?
We have to have this done by the first, because that's the effective date.
So then,
if you guys get the red lines by Friday, that would be fantastic. I know we can't share it with everybody, but just send it to Sean, that would be fantastic. Again, thank you for that, I don't, should I say anything about the admin not coming back? No, okay, alright, that's it, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, yes, okay, so I do know we have 2 directors that need to, are you leaving right now, or are you guys?
well, I think we could do real quick, we approved
Yes.
Cam and, what's the other, we have another contract approved.
Your building business.
Yeah, do I have a motion to approve the CAM, contract? It's not significant, it's a small,
$280 a month.
$280 a month.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to approve it.
second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? Any
Yeah, and I just
abstained?
want to real quick say that I think that Cam has made a lot of improvements in the last year in their software and how they've been interacting with the committee.
Yeah, I was looking at the report today, actually, I think we're good. Okay, last thing, then you can go. Tyler, I know you need to go through things, but can we just go ahead and do bills and invoices?
Sure. Yeah, the only thing I want to point out outside of what I showed you guys with the supplemental packet was the CPF check that you guys signed. That is for pay app number 2, which David and Crystal will go over. The only other thing is you have a bond payment. It's interest only. It's next week, and we'll make your debt service fund.
Okay, great. Do I have a
Can I
motion?
make a quick, make sure I make the right motion here? We need to make a motion under 9, A, B, and C for 9A for payment of bills and invoices. I noticed we got 12A where Gray's giving us the update on the playscape, including consideration of the pay estimate. Is that pay estimate in item 9? I just wanna make sure we
Well, we're
have,
not,
or if I'll make motion to do both if I need to, I just wanna make sure.
I believe it is in the invoices, right?
it is in the.
Yes,
Okay, thank you, I
yeah,
just wanna make sure we're not leaving them hanging.
okay. So do I have a motion
Motion.
to approve payment of bills and invoices? Okay, second.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstained? Okay, that's 4. Last thing, really, number 17 is the proposal from 620 to the new website for WordPress. I just need a approval for that. Do you have a motion to approve it? Lisa,
I'll-
okay, go ahead.
You said,
Do you need to say anything about it?
I don't, last month, Director Young mentioned that moving from Granicus, WordPress would charge us a fee, and in actuality, 620 is absorbing that fee. So after we pay this initial to move over the entire website, there will be no additional annual fees from WordPress.
The proposal amount is 11,250. Sorry, I should have said that at the beginning. Okay, so do I have a motion?
Can we mention how much we're saving, just again for residents? From
6,000 from Granicus on a yearly basis.
6,500 a month.
And on top of that, it's a savings, but it's also be more efficient.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, do I have a motion?
I was
No
gonna make a
second?
motion, but I say you did.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed, anybody abstained? Okay, that's 4. All right, now you can leave.
Before, I can say a few minutes longer.
Yeah.
Do you have any other,
Yes, okay, so the 31, sorry guys, we moved this agenda around so much, we just.
Number
Apologies.
27, that's your individual Lincoln County Sheriff's Office agreement.
Yes, okay, so we are going to do number 27, which is the individual Williamson County Sheriff's Office agreements, we just,
I can pop in.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I think we have discussed this, $10 per hour pay raise is kind of the expectation going forward for the off-duty deputies in Williamson County. And in the past, y'all have directed, the president of the board to essentially just, execute the agreements. We have redrafted all the agreements with all the deputies, including, Deputy Lovato. Y'all comes out to the deputies, so we just need a countersign. So what we'll be looking for tonight, is just the formal approval to increase the hourly wage, by $10 and to direct, President Logan to undertake signatures on all the individual agreements.
okay, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to that.
Second. All right, all in favor? Aye. Okay.
Aye.
Anybody abstain or oppose? Okay, so that's 3. Okay, I think we can go to the chicken coop. Hold on, let me make sure, do we do 10?
Do we need to do, real quick, sorry to interrupt, do we have any write-offs under item 11?
Yes, we do, we have one write-off, I think it's like about $150. Ben?
Can I move to bring that one up
You need to
now?
do it quick.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll be brief. There's not too much this month, just that one write-off that needs approval for tonight, and then, but you'll see a large amount of the water loss, but that's from the leak back in July that our guy found off of Susan. So that's just reflecting that leak until we found it and fixed it, so should taper off in theory. But that's really all I have tonight. If you guys, have any questions, let me know.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the one write-off?
I'll motion to approve it.
Second. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, okay, that's 3.
Y'all have a great evening.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
thank you, okay, anything else that we actually need to vote on?
We have the chicken
Chicken
coop.
Okay,
and-
chicken, Sedge, okay, so I'm just gonna cut to the chase, okay?
Good.
There's a proposal, there's an agenda item to add chicken coops on the agenda. You've come and you've spoken several times, thank you, and have a plan. I talked to Sean today about it, there is still some significant costs on our end, and, quite a bit of research we'd still have to do. We're just getting the bees kicked off, so, let's just go and say, is there a motion to approve this?
I'll motion.
Okay, alright, I'll second for discussion, okay, any discussion?
I just wanna note, I think this is a really good idea.
Yeah.
Well, really idea, but I have concerns about water quality issues, right? Because it is not to say y'all are gonna do a bad job managing chickens, right? But I know that any issue that ultimately results in any kind of like runoff going into the creek could cause real problems in the neighborhood with TCQ, which then becomes a problem for everybody in the neighborhood, right? Taxpayers, residents, water usage, so, I just wanna be on the record, I have a little bit of concern about approving it, just because, again, not the idea of having chickens is bad. But I have concerns about how we would make sure, where we are in that part, that we could appropriately make sure we mitigate all that risk. And that's not a knock on y'all, the folks who wanna work on it, it's more of a, global view, like, you know, what happens if it rains really hard and you get a flood,
Yeah.
right? But that's how I understand a lot of times when animal waste gets in the waterways, it's because the people that had it had precautions, but then like the weather overwhelms, right? I heard about this on the Bosque River, they had a flood on some farms and a lot of manure got washed in the river and it caused a bunch of problems for Waco. It's not a knock on y'all, but just wanted to put that on the record, so.
Yeah, Saj, I do agree with, David, Mr. Schwinger, and, I do like the idea, I just don't know if we're there yet.
Yeah.
That's sophisticated, and we are just getting the bees to, together, I wanna see how that comes together, but, I love the idea of having it, and maybe someday we can do it, and I really appreciate all the work you're doing, so
Of course.
I don't
Can I
need to
share
be discouraged.
two quick thoughts and totally
Of course.
understand if this isn't the year or the time,
Yeah,
et cetera.
Please let us know.
One is that, part of why I wanted to start the conversation this early is that, there are programs at the TCEQ specifically for this kind of thing. And advising, kind of lay people, like we would be as chicken tenders on how to approach this and make sure that we're not creating a bad runoff situation. So, that's one thought. I was aware and we would have been talking with the TCEQ to make sure we were doing everything possible. The second thing is that, part of the intention of having the chickens and locating them on site, there close to the garden is, there was a concept of being able to use quite a bit, if not all of the chicken waste as actually supplementing the fertilizer. So in an ideal scenario, it would be cleaned on a regular basis and become part of what is already a very well-established community garden at this point. So, that was our vision.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's definitely an opportunity for synergy with the garden, totally understand.
yeah, okay. All in favor?
Everybody gets a chance to talk, right?
Yeah, absolutely,
Can I have my turn?
absolutely.
I understand that there's a problem that you guys are in kind of a limbo. I think that we've been dragging our heels. I wanted to vote on this last month, hoping to vote on it this month. I suspect that you guys have answers for every concern that's gonna come up. Birds poop in the woods, you guys got a plan for it already. I don't think we have all the language in the agreement and stuff like that, but I would like us to consider voting thumbs up on moving forward in a direction that allows them to do that pending, a final agreement that we can all agree, like, okay, we got the, why would we need to tear it down, or they've got MS4 consideration, they've got everything lined up. And then if we get new concerns, then they gotta, respond or break it down, or if you guys have new concerns or need more money or something like I would just like us, not like they can go ahead and start building next week, but let's vote on moving forward with this, pending, final approval with the board, negotiation on the contract, however we do this. I suspect that if the MUD needed to come up with $10,000 and we said, we're not gonna do that, then maybe you guys do some fundraisers and get that kind of stuff going. But there are gonna be a lot of details coming up before we eventually resolve this. But I would like us to vote that, yes, we are moving forward. The district wants to have this happen, but we still need to do all the details. So maybe I need to have an amendment where, yes, we may move forward pending agreement of a contract. That way they know that we're in it, or the district's in it. So
Does he need to amend his?
I think that would be an amended. We are approving the chicken tenders pending an agreement on a contract for concerns.
Yeah, so that was certainly the intention of what this vote or request was. It was basically saying, is the board interested in us moving forward in the exploration of this? Because we don't have the numbers, we don't have even, like a list of all the
families who might participate if we do get, you know, the funds and the space allocated, et cetera. So we're kind of in this, like you said, limbo mode or catch-22, where we don't wanna start outreaching to families and getting a formal list together, or, you know, having the expenses involved with creating a community shared agriculture organization, if you guys ultimately don't want to have chickens in that part of the land that belongs to the mud. So that was, you're absolutely right, Robert. That's what we're hoping for, and we don't expect that this is a yes to having chickens. It's just a yes to us investing the resources and time and effort that's involved to getting a formal proposal that we can present to you guys that says, here's what it'll look like, here's what the TCQ says, here's what our local ag commission says, here are the families who are interested in participating in it, here are the costs that we anticipate being involved, and, you know, here's when we would order the chickens, here's the supplies that we have for the coop. We just don't wanna compile all of that without your guys kind of being excited by the prospect of having chickens.
Does he need to amend his motion, or does the first motion work?
I think you need to amend the motion, because I think the difference here is the original motion was kind of moving forward, the second is really approving the thought of considering it later, and having Sedge and his group do a fair amount of due diligence relating to that.
Okay, so you went ahead and amended that, Robert?
So I would like to amend the motion to be a, move forward vote with the details to be provided later, which may then later be turned down by the board, but, I wanna give them the green light.
Can I ask you, are there costs, I'm assuming there's cost associated
Yeah,
with that process?
I imagine so. It's mostly just time. So if we encounter something where we would need some sort of formal approval from TCEQ and there's a fee associated with it, I think we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But as of right now, I'm not aware of like costs other than once we actually need to be purchasing materials or chicks, et cetera. It's mostly a time and effort investment.
So we need to, does anyone want to second Robert's motion? Okay, I'll second for discussion. So I really don't think that you need this vote to go do this next step.
Okay.
And so I'm hesitant to vote yes on it because I think it may be misleading. And but I think you can do what you need to do and get all the data together and the real costs and stuff, and then bring it to us and say, hey, you know, in 6 months or whatever, you know, would you guys consider this? I still don't think the timing's right for us. So, do anybody else wanna?
Just so that I don't wanna vote yes and have to do this work and we run aground the TCQ issue, that's the thing that I think that.
That's kind of step one.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that I think with our attorney and y'all, that might be a place for y'all to discuss first, right, before you do anything else. Cause I don't want y'all working up a formal proposal and get everybody invested in it, and then we find out we just can't get over the line with TCQ.
If we don't have 5,000 in our budget right now to spend liquidity.
Yeah, and to be sure,
TCQ.
I think I've presented this before, so you guys would have to kind of, my recommendation would be to work with Liquidity to establish standards with regard to the implementation of the chicken coop. There would also be some hard costs there as well, and the installation of erosion control devices and that sort of thing. Those also need to be documented in the MS4. So there would be not particularly significant, but real cost to the districts of implementing it in and outside of any costs they may incur on their side to implement.
Okay,
So what about if we just, so one of the time things that's sensitive is chicks are purchased in February, apparently. That's when you get chicks for kind of a new season. And so I think we're probably all on the same page that it's not happening this February. So why don't we come back to this next spring as we're not in a budget session, as things are kind of calming down, because it seemed like there was a little bit more space to talk about this kind of stuff earlier in the year, just that's kind of the sense I'm getting. So
That's reasonable.
I think not having a no is better than the alternative, so I think we can let folks know, hey, chickens are still on the table, we're focused on the bees right now, and we're not getting chicks this February.
I think it's fair, we don't wanna give any, again, like, they just give up the pudding, like, we don't wanna give any false hope,
Of
or
course.
that is the thing, is you don't wanna get down the road and be like, actually, just, you know, with Quiddity and TC, you're like, you guys can't make this work, and then we're letting, we don't want anybody holding the bag as far as that they spend money to do something, and then TCQ's like, sorry guys, we're just not gonna approve this, right?
Yeah.
And just from my understanding, just to clarify, you guys are not your own entity.
We are not yet, so it's
That
a
matters.
group of homeowners at the moment. The way that we were imagining setting this up, because chickens are so much more significant than plants and gardens, is as a community shared agriculture group, which would be an entity.
Okay.
And so people who are participating would purchase shares, and those funds go towards things like veterinary bills, if there are repairs that need to be made to the coops, et cetera. Basically, everybody who's participating in that CSA, shares in those costs, and then they also share in the goods of the eggs, that are generated. So that was our vision there, and it was how we were going to kind of differentiate, so that you guys as a MUD weren't obligated to care for chickens, right? Yeah, so, you know, basically, we would be licensees of the space. And that was the idea, that basically we'd have the space allocated, we'd take care of the chickens and the space, and if something went wrong, you guys can kick us out. And then the CSA would be responsible for resolving that.
So,
Alright, so-
can we be clear what the next steps are to be successful on this?
Well, so
I think
you,
we're tabling.
we're tabling it, but you have a motion, a second, do you wanna stick with your do you wanna withdraw your motion, or do you wanna go for a vote?
I don't think it matters, but I wanna continue the discussion, and so that I understand if we need to do something, maybe we put it into the next year's budget at, not this one coming up, but the next one, then it can happen, or do they need to have, you know, commitment and 15 people and come up with the $5,000 themselves? Who, to move forward on this, whose step is next, and what is that?
Okay, first, I wanna
I
go back to
think
the
this-
motion, because we have to finish this, it's either
Why, I
we
think-
withdraw it or we vote.
Are you like withdrawing it to let it pen?
I
Then
think
move on
we're
to your
still
question.
discussing.
Okay, that's fine. Well,
Yeah,
okay.
So I have an idea for maybe amending your motion again here, Robert, if that's possible, because it sounds like the TCQ is the primary issue here, and the vendor who looks at was it the MS4? I don't know how often they review those, but maybe what we could do is ask that vendor who reviews our MS4 to think about what it would mean if there were chickens.
We've already done that, and it actually has to be written into the MS4, so there's additional costs there.
Okay,
So
so they've
it's-
kind of provided a
Mhm.
quote, okay, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I thought
No,
that
it's
might
just
be
complicated stuff.
a better
Yeah.
allocation
Yeah.
we could do, okay.
Yeah,
Then,
So we need to bring this back up at the next budget consideration.
We need to consider with our cost for Quiddity, I think, correct, Sean? Tyler?
Yeah, well, and I think what Cedric's saying, he'd like to come back, I think I heard early spring, and kind of reinvigorate the discussion then.
Yeah.
So I think you indicated, it seems like it's being tabled, I think we're saying the same thing there.
That's what I heard, if I'm wrong.
no, I don't think you're wrong, and I
Okay.
think, Roberts, do we want to maybe reread what your amended motion was?
Yeah, I think it doesn't matter at this point, I can withdraw it.
okay, so you got that, right, okay. Alright, well,
Great.
thank you very much,
Thank you.
and we'll be in touch,
Sounds good.
and
Yeah,
we
love
will,
further discussion.
yeah.
Thank you, Sage.
Really appreciate it, guys.
Thank you for your work on this.
Yeah.
Persistence,
Of course.
I've been there.
Okay, let's go ahead and go to,
Can I make one motion before that, we,
Yeah.
I'll move to the restricted covenants up real quick, just to report, we did not have anything to report. We'll just
yeah.
clear it up, right, so
Yeah.
actually here,
Yeah.
this is Director Johnson last,
Yeah,
we did not
yeah.
have any
Okay.
issues for litigation
Right.
or, new issues to bring up on this issue, so,
Okay, alright, got it.
alright, thank you all very much.
Yeah, thank you. Professional services, 22 is in your packet, the TDS report. stormwater, we did get an email, we got a couple of emails, there's some things going on with it, an audit. So,
Yeah, you want, I can, yeah, so, as it pertains to our MS4, just to, so, what we would wanna be including, just to use the chicken situation, right? One of the reasons we would have to draft that into our MS4, and amend it with the TCQ is because they occasionally do on-site investigations. And in fact, they notified us just today that they will be out to investigate, by early November. They move quite quick on their investigations, a lot quicker than they do on approving their MS4s, so, anyway, that's, I think there's a lot to it. My understanding is they conducted one last, I think, in 2019, so it's not too crazy, so.
okay, the report from professional services subcommittee is in the packet. Did great, right? Here we are, I'm sorry, thank you for your patience.
Hi.
What do you have for us?
All right, well, I was gonna start off and say, as we look out the window, we can see. But it's wonderful to see, things are going vertical and, you know, items are going up. And as a reminder, we had received our first shipment from Play Ventures on August 25th. And so Tia Harper has been working to get all of the pieces up over the last few weeks. We received an updated schedule from Tia Harper. We are gonna receive a supplemental schedule here this week with hopefully some finalized dates from the manufacturer. That's really kind of what everything hinges on. And so we're targeting, what we've heard is mid-October for the second shipment. But Tia Harper's moving forward on everything and not letting them slow them down. Let's see, over the last few days, I'm sure we've seen that the water line was exposed under the playscape, but of course Crossroads was working to fix that. And lastly, it was already covered, but we had a pay estimate number 3 in the amount of $160,443.47 submitted by TF Harper, and it was included in the packet.
Yes.
Yes.
And we did discuss last month that any of the costs that, from TF Harper to you, we're gonna reduce the final, right? The
Yeah,
final.
any survey, in our contract, they're responsible for survey costs.
Yes,
They've asked for some of that, it's been done, we'll just deduct, it's easier just to do it, and we'll deal with it
at the end.
at the
all of it.
end. We will bring back any the costs associated with the water line reroute as a form of a change order at a future meeting. That way it will be funded out of bond proceeds.
Yeah, we won't talk about the estimate yet, cause I'm buying that.
Yeah, we can't talk about that tonight, right? No more, okay.
No. Okay, and then, do we have an updated timeline on the website yet? Have you gotten that from TF Harper? Okay, let's make sure we get that in the next week, because.
We'll be meeting with them on Monday, and we will,
That's right.
We'll be
Make
on
sure.
site, yeah. I was expecting an updated schedule today, actually. I was hoping to get it for today, but, yeah. we'll get back to it.
Okay, good, yeah, I think residents, we need to just be as transparent as possible, you know,
Absolutely.
even if we miss that deadline. Great, anything else? No? Okay, thank you
all,
very much.
appreciate it.
Thank you for your patience.
Of course.
Sure, appreciate it. Okay, let's go to, please let me know if I missed anything. General Manager's Report, number 25.
The report is in the packet. The only update that I have for you all is last month I was given a directive to get AT&T fiber out at Apache Pool. That actually began yesterday. We do have some trenching that they're gonna be doing in the next 10 days. They'll come back, they'll hook the system up, and then we'll be good to go on that one. Tyler is aware that we should see that transition in billing. The account number won't change. However, we will see a significant savings of anywhere from $50 to $70 a month.
Awesome. Yes. We are tabling the Cub Scout, pack behavior expectations along with the, number 28, the rules, and regulations for our parks. We're actually gonna incorporate that document for the scouts into basically the Humano rules. So I think that'll make sense. So 28 and 25A are tabled. And then, Sean, I guess it's pretty much you.
Yeah, so I think we've either handled the majority of stuff over here. Let me just quickly scoot through here. So legal, I don't think I had any directives that are pending.
So just the trailer update.
Yeah, so I think you're right, so everything for 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, we have touched. We talked last month about the improperly parked, utilities, actually not a travel trailer, I was pointing to a utility trailer, so we got that right in the letter. But to be sure, we got the letter out to the folks that inhabit the home, that is in front of where the travel trailer is parked. And I, noted that it was improperly parked and that it needs to be moved. And put them on a deadline of early October, so we'll watch and hopefully that will be taken care of.
Is there a reason we don't just tow it like we would if somebody was parked somewhere? Can we just do that and solve the problem?
I think that might create more problems for us. I think we give them the opportunity to move it, and if they don't, then I think that would be the next step that I would recommend.
Question, based off of Robert's question, don't you normally have to have a sign that says no parking or you can be towed? So we don't have that sign out there.
There is a sign back there, no parking.
Behind their
Right-
fence?
No, right at the pump house, the way that they got back there.
Would that apply?
I don't, where were you guys talking about?
Spumante, at the end of Spumante, we have a lift station there, Crossroads does, and there is a no parking sign on that.
On the structure itself?
On the structure itself, and there's a,
It's actually on a post sign, it's not, I don't believe it's on the structure, I believe it's a aluminum post that says no parking.
But the trailer is basically behind the residence back fence.
And we don't have the towing persons.
The trailer's in the park. I mean, it's in a park facility.
It's in the green belt.
Oh, okay, I think you would probably have to get with Road and Bridge to see if that's an official sign, and not just a sign that they put up there.
I think the board voted last month to have Sean send the letter, so I think we need to stick with that. And then possibly, Robert, if they don't do anything, maybe that's the next step,
Well, you
but
put a time frame in there.
Yeah.
So we have some recourse if they don't move it.
Yeah.
Correct.
thank you, Deputy Lovato. Okay, I think that's it. Do I have?
Number 6.
I have one item.
Yeah, there's a couple.
I do have one item I wanted to mention.
Yeah.
At the end of your agenda, you do have future board meeting dates. I did send out an email, blind copy to all board members. This is looking forward to November and December's, meetings. If you all will reply, I know Directors Johnson and David, Shoemaker will respond to that as well. But the sooner that we get this response that these dates work, it will help Tyler get, to our consultant so that way they're able to get billing in sooner.
Okay, great. Deputy Lovato, when we did your agreement, I forgot, do you have an update for us?
Yes, so the female from the back to school event was identified. The detectives are working on that right now. Other than that, I think that's really the only thing.
Boggs let us know at the end of our meeting was it last week? 2 weeks ago, the twins are back and the one lady's, it's in his report, actually, if you guys read the daily reports.
Yes.
It's right there about the maroon car, so. Any movement on the Apache vandals?
I did reach out to Detective Terrell, he hasn't replied as of yet, but
Okay,
I am staying in correspondence with him.
Okay, cool.
okay. I did mention one thing, it was before the meeting, but I'll just go ahead and share this with the rest of the directors. The lady from the back to school event went, I guess there's a warrant out for arrest, we're just gonna share this, hopefully this is okay. Give me a,
Well, I didn't want you to say that because
Okay.
my mom lives here and now she's fine, so.
okay. Just, I would like to issue a criminal trespass, if we could.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, alright, that's it. Okay, do I have a motion to,
Hang on, so Robert, did you wanna give any update on the ad hoc?
oh, I thought we were supposed to table that.
Are we tabling that?
I thought we were.
We were tabling the location portion, but it's the update that we were good to go forward.
Yeah, I think everything's fine,
Awesome. Okay, motion to adjourn.
motion?
Second.
Alright, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Alright, that's 3 ayes. Thank you very much. Hold on. Just minimize it all, right? Do we have any documents to sign?
Let me check, I'm sure that we.
I signed.
Yeah, because we've got, minutes.
I think I lost the cursor. There.
You got anything for me, Sean?
I don't think so, but give me 2 seconds though.